here I am just messing around with, trying to develop a football game in Dreams, which is only exclusive game engine and game for PlayStation users, which is great because it seems like games that's getting developed in Unreal Engine just gets to Xbox console users first before PlayStation users. Or it's just catered to PC users only, which is very unfortunate. It's kind of crazy that PlayStation users always get the last of it or have to wait until it comes out for PlayStation like months or so afterwards. It is what it is on that. But in Dreams, you can literally recreate graphically and design things that looks just like what you can do in Unreal Engine, which is crazy. The thing is, in Dreams, it's community based, so even if you don't know how to design or animate anything, the community has things that you can search and borrow for free. Compared to Unreal Engine, they do have some things that's free, but for the most part, you have to pay for everything. And that's why when it's a community-based thing that you can help each other, it makes things so much easier. And for game development especially, it makes things just much better to do in comparison to paying for everything, which is great. But in Dreams, it can still be complicated as well. Not as complicated as Unreal Engine, but it can be complicated. So right here you guys see where I try to manually create and animate a stiff arm animation. But the thing is, when I'm moving, it's close. But when I'm standing, you guys see the results. Also, as you guys see the helmets, there was a person that literally created every NFL helmet. Now, it's not the greatest, but, I was able to just put it on my puppet, which is pretty cool. Like I said, the community has a bunch of stuff created by people that you can end up using to your game as well. Then right here, I'm just trying to figure out the physics with the ball, so I created like a basic football, not the greatest detail, but just something basic, and I'm able to actually implement physics in the football by just kicking it. Now, I have no idea how the logic system works in this game. I have no experience with it. It's the same thing as a blueprint in the Unreal Engine. As you guys see right here, I'm trying to figure out how to animate and pick up the ball, but without, having the physics be avoided from, touching it. But then I go to trying to teleport the ball once I get near it to me holding the ball in a quarterback stance. But when I move, unfortunately, I don't know how to keep it in place when I do move. So this is something I'm learning as well. So I was unable to figure out how to do that as well, have a animation to pick it up. But if I can place the ball in my character's hands, you guys see what the results can be. As well, I try to figure out how to throw the ball, and of course I'm throwing my hand every single time. So it's just a funky way of learning this game engine. So as you guys see here, this is another person's creation. He's able to figure out how to throw the ball, pick it up, but when he collides with the AI or whatever, it ends up being like a ragdoll physics where just all the bones and joints is just unrealistic when it happens. But it's the fact that this person that created this is able to have all these simple basic animations like tucking the ball, truck sticking, and then having a throwing animation, which I have no clue how to do. As well, he ended up designing, just basic, offense and defensive player, and then as well a collision physics system. It's not the greatest, but you guys get the point of what you can do, what the community can do. Apparently this game was dead. A lot of people stopped playing this game because the gaming company kind of just put a stop on updating or whatever the case that happened with this game. But to me, it's still playable. I mean, there's a lot of community-made games that you can play on this that people have remade and done better, which is kind of crazy. As you guys see here, I'm trying to look at the logic for this person's creation for a football game. And of course, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. But this is how the logic is, which I think is much more simpler and easier compared to the Unreal Engine. But the Unreal Engine has the same concept. Now right here, I ended up just stretching out the ground, and I wanted to make grass, just fooling around with all the settings within this sculpture is what they call it. And you guys see that I'm able to create decently looking grass. But yeah, if you guys have never played this or tried it out on the PlayStation, if you are a PlayStation user, I recommend doing so. I mean, this is a great way to experiment other games within a game engine that the community has created. As well, create anything that you can think of or design. Like right here, I'm using some of the community's asset, like a jet, a destructible car, a house, which I kind of modified to certain points where you can make it destructible and break apart upon hitting it, which you guys are about to see. And I was messing around with the camera rig, so none of this I have made, I just made the simple fact of trying to capture the footage.